Hello Stampers, Kelly Acheson at stampabove.com coming to you from Menasha, Wisconsin. I am going to be sharing an adorable Halloween card with you today using this new cauldron bubble and the matching framelits. These are called cauldron framelits. Super cute. We've got this little girl matching framelit. We've got a super cute little frog, if you can see that, with the matching framelit. We've got this cauldron, again, framelit, the cute little cat, the ghost, the hat, and the broom all have framelits. And then we have this really neat little spider web and these stars. So lots of great framelits in here with this adorable stamp set. And then this is like my favorite. So we've got all this fabulous paper. This is called Toil and Trouble Designer Series paper, and it's got a really nice Halloween-y colored theme on one side that you can really use for any occasion, and then we've got the Halloween images on the other side. So I'll just run through this and show it to you. Again, this can be used for anything, but it's especially great for Halloween. And then these chubby little ghosts that I love. Then we have the stars and bats, these little witches and cats. Here's our chubby ghosts again. We've got pumpkins and broomsticks. And we've already looked at this one. And then we've got our frogs and witch hats. So aren't these just the sweetest images? Now, there's some really neat things about these images. This one, for example, the cauldron paper, you can cut out all of these cauldrons with the framelit. So you can stamp it and color it in, or you can simply cut this one out. And the same goes for the cat. This framelit will cut out the cat, or you can stamp and color your own cat and cut it out. And I think we have the same thing for these little frogs. Let me see. No, I don't think this is way bigger than the frog. We've got that cute little frog there and a framelit to cut that out also. So there might be some other elements in here that work along with the framelits. I have just started playing with this set. So as I find other things, I'll let you know. But for right now, I think this is super neat that we can get this paper and use our framelits to cut out these images, as well as always have the stamp set to stamp as many as you want and color in and die cut. All right, so let's get on to our fun card. I'm gonna bring in my cardstock layers here. I have pumpkin pie that is 5.5 by 8.5. I'm just gonna burnish that edge. I've got a piece of Whisper White for the front. This is 4 3/4 by 3.5, and a piece of our gorgeous grape that's just 1/8 of an inch bigger at 4 7/8 by 3 5/8. Then we've got a scrap of white and a scrap of basic black. Just gonna bring in my piercing mat. I like to use this to stamp on. It gives me that little extra cushion that I need. We're gonna do a little decorating to our card front before we do anything else. And I've got these nice little stars, and I'm just going to stamp these in the top right corner, kind of in the shape of an L, a backwards L. Well, I don't know, you get the drift. When you're using little images like this, it's good to test them out on your scrap paper before you stamp with them, because oftentimes we tend to push too hard on these little delicate images, and then it squishes them out and they don't look as nice as they should. I'm gonna bring in my Stampin' Chamois here and clean this off. Now this is where our purple layer, the gorgeous grape, is gonna go right on the front of our card. So what I've done there is I've just added a little interest to the corners of my Halloween card. And then, you guys know I like to stamp up that inside, so I'm just going to take the cat and put one little cat right on the inside here. And I can add more later if I want to, but for right now, that's gonna be my little decoration. Okay, now for this part. here's what we're gonna do. I have cut, I'm making this actually for a swap. As a demonstrator, it is swap season right now for Stampin' Up! Demonstrators. And I took the designer series paper and I cut a whole bunch of strips of 3 different patterns. I've got this pattern, which is the green. I've got the gorgeous grape and then the star pattern. Both of these are 3/8 of an inch wide, and then this one is a 1/2 inch wide. And what I wanted to do was I wanted to put them on the front of my cards. So I'm just going to lay these in the order that I want them. And then I'm going to turn them over and butt them up against each other and secure them. So I'm just trying to get them straight on this end here, and I can always trim that off if I need to. So I'm just going to take a piece of tape and make sure that I'm, oops, got those all butted up against each other and secure that with a piece of tape. So all I've done is just tape that together, and it's just an easy way for me to then add it to my card front. So here goes some some glue. Just adding some glue here. And I think I'll just put a little glue on this top one because I didn't want to get too far with that glue. You could actually put it on the back of these strips of designer series paper too, but I just tend to like to make it harder for myself, I guess. Sometimes we do that, don't we? And now I'm going to make sure that this is all lined up, and I'm just going to trim this off with my paper snips. Okay. Now, you guys know that usually I would do all my stamping before I do anything else, but I'm using Stamparatus today. It is a positioning tool that I have come to love. I have deep love for this because it has made making multiple cards so much easier for me. I can't even tell you. I'm hoping this isn't glaring at you too much because I have to have my lights on so you can see what I'm doing. Yeah. Okay, so I have already made up a template for my little ghosts. And what I did is I just put a piece of cardstock here. Don't pay any attention to that oval. This is just a scrap. I put a piece of cardstock here, and I put my little ghost right here. I inked him up and I stamped him. I took this piece out, ran it through my Big Shot, and cut out that ghost. So that is now my template. And as long as I keep this up here and over here in the corner, I can stamp as many of these as I need. And look at this. I've got to make 22 of these cards, and this is going to be a lot easier than me stamping up ghosts and then taking the framelit and running it through 21 times with the chance that it could move or wiggle or be off or whatever. This is the easiest way to make multiple cards, and I thought, well, this is a good thing to show you again. I've shown you this in the past because Halloween cards are the type of card that you might be making a bunch of. If you have a bunch of friends and family to send Halloween cards to, this is a great way to do it. It's going to turn out perfect every time. I'm just inking up my little ghost stamp, and then I use my paper piercing tool to get that right out of my template, and I can just do all 22 of these with such ease. It's just, I love this idea. This is fabulous. Okay, so now what about the rest of this card? I'm just going to leave this template right here. I could move it out of the way. I could get it off of here, but it's not going to hurt a thing just to leave it right in place. I'm going to bring this layer in. I'm going to push it up into the corner, and now I'm going to ink up my Happy Halloween greeting. Because there's a chance that it's easy to stamp this crooked, I have placed it on my Stamparatus so that it is perfectly straight, right in place, and I can stamp up all of these that I need. I can just keep bringing these in, laying them in here, and stamping my Happy Halloween. Just keep doing this. So again, this is a great tool for making multiples. Now, if I was only going to make making one of these cards, I wouldn't take the time to set up my whole Stamparatus for that. I mean, that doesn't make sense, right? But when you're making multiples, this is your foolproof way to get perfect placement on all your stamps. And I love this thing. I love it, love it. If you do not have a Stamparatus, these are $49. That is like one of the least inexpensive positioning tools on the market. And I'm telling you, you will not be disappointed. If you don't have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I would love, love, love to earn your business. You can order one of these from me. And here is my blog. And use this code, host code, when you're placing your online order, because that gets you some special perks from me. So let me set this aside. And now we're going to come in and finish this original card. So I've got my little ghost guy here, and isn't he just the sweetest? I just think he's so, so cute. I'm going to put a dimensional on the back of him. I'm going to let him sit right there. I'm going to bring in a black marker, and now I'm just going to flick this. So I take my lid off, and I just flick at my white layer. Now you have to give this just a tiny bit of drying time. You don't want to touch it right away because it will smear, but give it a little bit of drying time. We're going to come in here and put on our little ghost, and our ghost fits perfectly right over here. Isn't he sweet? I love him. We're going to bring in this black scrap, and here is our new bat punch. Punch out my bats. Whoops. And we've got flying pokey tools. Direct competition with the bats, right? I'm just going to add my bats to this front panel. And then we're going to put this on our card front. Who doesn't love orange, purple, and green for Halloween colors? I mean, they are it, right? And there we go. This is a super quick and easy little Halloween card with our new designer series paper called Toil and Trouble, and our Cauldron Bubble Bundle with the Bat Punch. So we've got all kinds of Halloween going on here. Love it. All right, you guys, thank you so much for taking a little bit of time out of your day to spend with me. If you do need to place any orders, you can go right to my blog where you'll find an online ordering button in the right-hand column. Also, don't forget to click down here to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I've got a lot of great ideas coming up in videos that I think you're just gonna love. You guys have yourself a great day. Bye-bye.